Have you ever wondered what happened to those iconic Golden Age stars who seemed to have it all, only to fall into tragedy? In today's video, we're diving into the tragic lives of some of Hollywood's brightest stars from its Golden Age. From sudden downfalls to untold personal struggles, these legends faced battles both on and off the screen that left their careers and lives in ruins. We'll uncover the heartbreaking stories behind these stars, some of whom disappeared from the spotlight just as quickly as they had risen to fame. Stick with us as we reveal the dramatic twists and emotional turns in their lives. These are the stories you won't forget. Marilyn Monroe, the tragic blonde bombshell. Marilyn Monroe, one of Hollywood's most iconic figures, was the epitome of beauty and allure. Born Norma Jean Mortensen on June 1, 1926, she overcame a difficult childhood filled with foster homes, abandonment, and mental health struggles. Despite her troubled upbringing, Monroe rose to fame in the 1950s, becoming one of the biggest stars in the world. However, her fame came at a high price. Monroe struggled with severe depression, anxiety, and loneliness throughout her life. She was often isolated and felt disconnected from the very industry that adored her. Her marriages to baseball legend Joe DiMaggio and playwright Arthur Miller were fraught with difficulties, and both ended in divorce. Monroe's personal life seemed to unravel as her career flourished. She became known for her struggles with addiction, failed relationships, and an increasing inability to cope with the pressures of being a global icon. The tragic ending of Monroe's life shocked the world. On August 5, 1962, she was found dead in her Los Angeles home, an apparent suicide from a drug overdose. Her death remains shrouded in mystery, with many speculating about the involvement of others. Monroe's life was a combination of extraordinary success and heartbreaking turmoil, making her one of the most tragic figures in Hollywood history. Stick around as we reveal the tragic life of a Hollywood legend who faced unimaginable loss. Judy Garland, the star who couldn't escape the spotlight. Judy Garland, beloved for her role as Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, was another Golden Age star whose life was marked by tragedy. Born Frances Ethel Gumm on June 10, 1922, Garland's career began at a very young age. Her big break came at the age of 16 when she starred in The Wizard of Oz in 1939. The film's success catapulted her to stardom, but it also set the stage for a lifetime of personal struggles. Garland was pushed into show business at an early age by her ambitious mother, who often exploited her daughter's talent. This early exposure to the pressures of Hollywood contributed to Garland's struggles with addiction, body image issues, and mental health problems. She was frequently prescribed barbiturates and amphetamines by studio doctors to maintain her weight and energy levels, a pattern that led to her dependence on drugs. Garland's marriages were also tumultuous. She married 5 times, and each relationship seemed to bring her further emotional pain. Her final marriage to nightclub manager Mickey Deans ended tragically with Garland's death from an accidental overdose on June 22, 1969, at the age of 47. Garland's life was a series of highs and lows, from incredible success to heartbreaking personal tragedy. Her struggles with addiction and the pressure of fame ultimately led to her untimely death, making her one of the most tragic figures in Hollywood history. Stay tuned as we explore the tragic end of a star who seemed destined for greatness but was pulled under by their struggles. James Dean, a life cut short. James Dean, known for his roles in Rebel Without a Cause and East of Eden, became the embodiment of teenage angst and rebellion in the 1950s. Born on February 8, 1931, in Marion, Indiana, Dean had a rough childhood marked by the death of his mother when he was just 9 years old. He moved in with relatives, and his father's absence further complicated his emotional development. Dean's brief but intense career made him a cultural icon. His rebellious image and raw talent struck a chord with young audiences, and he became a symbol of youthful defiance. However, Dean's personal life was fraught with turmoil. He struggled with feelings of inadequacy, and his relationships were often short-lived. Despite his growing fame, Dean felt a sense of isolation, finding solace in his passion for acting and his love for fast cars. On September 30, 1955, Dean's life was tragically cut short when he was involved in a car crash while driving his Porsche 550 Spyder. He was just 24 years old. His untimely death cemented his status as a tragic figure in Hollywood, forever linked to his role as the misunderstood rebel. Dean's death left a lasting impact on the world, and his legacy continues to inspire generations of actors and filmmakers. Natalie Wood, A Mysterious Drowning. Natalie Wood's tragic life and mysterious death still captivate the public's attention decades later. Born Natalia Nikolaevna Zakharenko on July 20, 1938 in San Francisco, Wood entered Hollywood at a young age and quickly became a popular actress. Her breakout role in Rebel Without a Cause, 1955, where she starred opposite James Dean, cemented her place as a Hollywood star. However, the public's perception of her career and personal life was far from the reality she lived. Wood was often described as sensitive and vulnerable, struggling with her self-image throughout her career. Her relationships with men were tumultuous, most notably with actor Robert Wagner, whom she married twice. Their first marriage in the 1950s ended in divorce, but they reconciled in the 1970s. Despite their reunion, Wood continued to battle personal demons, including deep insecurities about her appearance and persistent reports of an unstable mental state. On November 29, 1981, Wood drowned under mysterious circumstances while on a yacht with Wagner and actor Christopher Walken. The official story stated that she fell off the boat while trying to secure a dinghy, but questions about her death have remained unanswered for years. Suspicion and conspiracy theories surrounding her drowning, combined with the events leading up to that night, have led many to believe there was more to her death than a tragic accident. Wood's tragic life and untimely death at the age of 43 left a void in Hollywood. Despite her success, she struggled with feelings of isolation and vulnerability, ultimately losing her life in an incident shrouded in uncertainty. Her legacy, however, endures through her iconic performances in films like West Side Story and Splendor in the Grass. Yet her death remains a dark chapter in the story of Hollywood's golden age. Judy Holliday, The Price of Fame and Success. Judy Holliday, best known for her comedic genius in Born Yesterday, 1950, had a personality that charmed both audiences and her peers. Born Judith Tuvim on June 21, 1921, Holliday rose to fame in the 1940s and 1950s as one of the most talented actresses of her time. She won an Academy Award for her role in Born Yesterday, showcasing her unique blend of comedy and warmth. Her career seemed destined for continued success. However, Holliday's life was marred by the pressures of living up to her comedic potential and the complexities of her personal life. She was often compared to the likes of Marilyn Monroe, yet while Monroe was celebrated for her beauty, Holliday was recognized for her extraordinary talent. This difference created a unique set of challenges for Holliday. Despite being adored by the public, she had to contend with being perceived as too smart for her looks in a Hollywood that often rewarded beauty over substance. Her marriage to Broadway composer and conductor David Oppenheim ended in divorce, and her health issues took a significant toll. In the mid-1960s, she was diagnosed with breast cancer. Despite undergoing treatment, she succumbed to the illness on June 7, 1965, at the age of 43. Holliday's death was a heartbreaking loss to Hollywood, as she had the potential for an even more illustrious career had she lived longer. Though her life was cut short, Judy Holliday's contributions to film, particularly in the realm of comedy, remain significant. Her ability to combine wit with emotional depth set her apart from other stars of her era, and she continues to be celebrated for her talent. Her legacy is marked not just by her performances, but by the tragedy that was her early death, forever casting a shadow on what might have been. Keep watching. Up next is the devastating tale of a legend whose personal struggles tore their career apart. Dorothy Dandridge, a star who fought against racial barriers. Dorothy Dandridge's rise to fame is one of the most remarkable and tragic stories of the golden age of Hollywood. Born on November 9, 1922 in Cleveland, Ohio, Dandridge overcame the racial barriers of her time to become one of the first African-American actresses to achieve mainstream recognition. She was best known for her performance in Carmen Jones, 1954, which earned her an Academy Award nomination for Best Actress. Despite her talent, however, Dandridge's journey was filled with hardship and discrimination. Hollywood in the 1950s was notoriously segregated, and Dandridge struggled to find roles that would allow her to show her full potential. She often found herself typecast in roles that were limited by racial stereotypes. Even after her breakthrough performance in Carmen Jones, Hollywood failed to offer her the opportunity she deserved, leaving her in a career lull for much of the 1960s. Dandridge was often subjected to racist treatment by both the public and studio heads, and this took a significant emotional toll on her. In addition to her career struggles, Dandridge's personal life was marred by troubled relationships and financial instability. Her marriage to Harold Nicholas of the Nicholas brothers ended in divorce, and she found herself unable to secure significant work despite her early fame. Dandridge's mental health declined, and she began to turn to alcohol to cope with her emotions. On September 8, 1965, Dorothy Dandridge was found dead in her apartment from an overdose, possibly related to her struggle with depression and her ongoing battle with financial hardship. She was just 42 years old. Dandridge's tragic death was a reflection of the systemic barriers she faced throughout her life, and her legacy is a testament to the challenges African-American actresses endured in a segregated Hollywood. The Price of Perfection? The Life of Carole Lombard. Carole Lombard, one of the most beloved actresses of the 1930s, was known for her charm, wit, and beauty. Born on October 6, 1908, Lombard's career took off in the 1930s when she became a leading lady in screwball comedies. Her infectious personality made her one of the most adored actresses of her time, and her chemistry with Clark Gable, whom she married in 1939, became legendary. However, Lombard's life was tragically cut short. On January 16, 1942, she died in a plane crash while returning from a bond-raising tour for World War II. Lombard's plane went down in Nevada, killing all aboard, including her mother. She was just 33 years old. The tragedy of her death shocked the nation, as she was at the peak of her career and had a promising future ahead. Lombard's sudden death not only devastated Hollywood, but also left a lasting impact on her fans and colleagues. Clark Gable, her husband, was deeply affected by her passing and, some say, never truly recovered from the loss. Carole Lombard's tragic end marked the abrupt end to a bright and successful career, and she remains a symbol of what could have been had she lived longer. So, what do you think? Could any of these stars have avoided their tragic fates, or was it simply the price of fame? If you're fascinated by the lives of Hollywood legends, make sure to hit that subscribe button for more incredible stories from the golden age of cinema. You won't want to miss what we uncover next.